Dear students, welcome to the lecture on machine learning. In last class, I explained about the following things like what is a concept, right? At that time, I explained a concept is a subset of objects or events. And I explained this diagram also. Here, birds is a subset of animals and animals is subset of things. Cars is also a subset of things like that I explained. And one more point you need to remember regarding concept. Concept is a Boolean valued function. Means it will give either true or positive result. Here, concept learning is one of the important concept in machine learning. It divides the instance space into segments. Here we are using logical models. There are two different types of logical models, tree models and rule models. In rule models, we are using if-then rules. Here, if part contains segment, segment is group of similar objects, and then part defines the behavior of the segment, behavior of the model in the segment. And coming to the tree models are restricted kind of rule models where if part of the rule are organized in tree structure. Here, instead of if, we are using nodes. See, non-leaf nodes and leaf nodes are existed in the tree structure. Here, leaf nodes are treated as segments and non-leaf nodes are treated as conditions like then. Conditions like if. And see, tree models and rule models are going to create logical models. These are type of logical models. These two models I will explain in the coming unit, that is unit 3. And I also explained what is hypothesis space. Hypothesis space is a set of possible concepts. I already told to you what is a concept. Concept is a set of objects. And what is hypothesis space? Hypothesis space is a set of concepts, set of possible concepts. Here concept is also called as concept is also called as a Boolean valued function. If you observe this conjective concepts, here we are using two different types of symbols in conjunctions and disjunctions. Conjunction is representing by using a symbol like this. Observe this symbol. This symbol is treated as conjunctive. And there is another symbol, quite opposite for this symbol, that is a disjunction, right? Conjunction, observe the conjunction. Conjunction combines two literals. Here, length is equal to 3 is one literal, grills is equal to no is another literal. Similarly, here we mentioned, in this example, we mentioned 4 literals, right? Here, this is what a logical model, right? Here, this model is constructed by using literals and conjunctions. This concept is called conjunctive concept. And conjunctive concepts may form by using at least 2 literals. Here, we need at least 2 literals to form a conjunctive concept. If you observe the last one, that is gills is equal to no, conjunctive, break is equal to yes, beak is equal to yes, right? Here, in this example, we are considering only 2 literals. In the previous example, we consider 3 literals. In this example, we consider 4 literals, right? These are the best examples for conjunctive concepts. Here we are using the symbol conjunction by combining more than one literal. How the literal is formed? A literal is formed by using the features of an object. Here, for sea animal, length is one feature, gills is one feature, beak is one feature, teeth is another feature. In last class, I explained sea animal with the 6 different features. For each feature, we are going to assign a value. Suppose the length of the sea animal is 3 feet or 4 feet or 5 feet. Like that, we are going to assign different values to the length feature of the sea animal. And it contains gills or not, right? If doesn't contain gills, right? Here what we are using the value as no, right? Otherwise we are using value as s. Here yes and no are what? Boolean values. Here the possible values for gills is a Boolean. That means only 2 possible values are there. For beaks we had 2 possible values. For teeth we are using many or few. That is also a Boolean type. Whereas in length, instead of length we mean instead of 3 we may use the 4, 5, 6 and so on, right? These are the features we are using to form conjunctive concepts, right? These conjunctive concepts will give hypothesis space. If you observe this diagram shows one instance or one object at the root level. From this object, we identified 9 different features. Here, each circle represents one feature, right? From these features, we are identifying the literals, and these mean the next level is formed by using literals which are generated from the features of an object, right? Observe this one. Second layer had only 9 objects, 9 features, whereas in third layer had almost 20, almost it contains 30 concepts, right? Here this one is representing as concept. How the concept is formed? Concept is formed by using literals. If you observe this is one concept, right? This line is treated as one concept. This line is treated as one concept. This line is treated as one concept. Observe the first line formed by using 4 literals, right? These initially these literals are formed by using features of the sea animal. Here sea animal is an object. I will explain this. Example. Initially this is sea animal. This is sea animal. This sea animal is an object. This sea animal is an object. This sea animal having features like length, beak, teeth, etc. Here length, beak, teeth are what? Features of the sea animal, means features of the object. And in general words we may call these features are properties of the sea animal. And coming to the next level, here this is a right, this is first level. Coming to the next level, here the next level is formed by using here length. For length we may use the values like the length may be 3, the length may be 4 or 5. Like this we may assign some values to the length, right? Then length is equal to 3 or length is equal to 4, something we are going to write like this: length is equal to 3. Now onwards, this one is treated as a literal. This one is treated as a literal. Here, for the features, we are assigning all possible values. All possible values will generate literals, right? With all possible values, we are going to construct concepts. The next level is called, what? concept. The next level is called concept. Next level is called concept. This is what concept. How this concept is formed? This concept is formed with the combination of more than one literal. Here, suppose you may use length is equal to 3 and beak is equal to s. Here, beak is equal to s. This literal, this concept is formed by using two literals. One is the length is equal to 3 and that means conjunction. That means conjunction, and beak is equal to yes. Beak is equal to yes, or beak is equal to no. Like this. Got the point? Length is equal to 3. Conjunction, gills is equal to no. Like this, number of concepts are formed. Right? Like this, number of concepts are formed. Number of possible concepts are formed. Number of possible concepts are formed like this. This is another level. This is what? This is another level. Right? In next level, we may construct hypothesis space. Now observe this. Here we may construct hypothesis space. This hypothesis space is a combination of set of concepts. Hypothesis space is a combination of set of concepts. Got the point? Right. Like this, we are going to construct hypothesis. We may construct hypothesis in more general format or least general format. Most general format or least general format. Here, I would like to remind one important point in data warehousing and mining, that is what concept hierarchy. I don't know how many people remember that concept hierarchy. But once again, I'm recapping the concept hierarchy. In data warehousing and mining, there is a concept called concept hierarchy. At that time, we may replace the lower level concepts with higher level concept to get the more generalization kind of things. If you observe this, right? See, observe this diagram clearly. Suppose this may be a country. This may be a country. This may be a country. And next level is what? State. And next level is what? City. And the next level is what? Street. Hope all of you reminding this concept. This concept is called as concept hierarchy. Concept hierarchy. In concept hierarchy, we are representing generalization as well as specialization. See, here this up arrow shows generalization. This down arrow shows specialization. Got the point? Here, country is what? Root level, top level, and street is what? Bottom level. If you are using, if you may replace the lower level concepts with the higher level concept. Instead of street, you may write a city. City will cover more number of cities, more number of streets. Instead of city, you may write state. State may cover more number of cities. Instead of a state, you may write country. Country will cover more number of states, cities, and streets. Got the point? This is what replacing the lower level concepts. Here, lower level concepts are street, city, and state. Right? Instead of street, you may replace with the city. That is what street is the replacing the lower level concept. Street is the lower level concept. We are replacing street with higher level concept, city. And here city is the lower level concept. We are replacing city with the next higher level concept, that is state. In this case, state is a lower level concept. Instead of state, you may replace the state with next higher level concept, that is country. This is called concept hierarchy. This is one of the important concepts in data warehousing and mining. Similarly, remember this concept carefully. Similarly, we are going to use this concept called as conjunctive concept. Here also we are going to use a most specialized, most specific hypothesis and most generalized hypothesis. Here hypothesis plays vital role while performing machine learning. Right? See, this is a hypothesis space. This hypothesis space is a collection of concepts or set of concepts, set of possible concepts. Now coming to the right, observe this statement. What is hypothesis space? Hypothesis space, observe the mouse pointer location. It is a space of possible concepts. How many possible concepts are there? Those many possible concepts are representing as an hypothesis space. Got the point? And the next one is conjunctive concepts. I already explained all these concepts to you. I am just recapping all these concepts for better understanding and remembering purposes. The next one is concept learning as such. Here we are searching. See, concept learning can be viewed as a task as searching through a large space of hypotheses. Right? We are searching a large space of hypotheses and implicitly defined by the hypothesis representation. What is the main goal of this search? The goal of this search is to find hypothesis the best fits the training examples. Here, why we are doing this kind of searching? This searching will help for you best hypothesis for our training examples. Right? Here, the training data may contain either positive examples or negative examples. Right? By using best hypothesis, we will always get a positive examples. Right? Most of the machine learning algorithms are going to use this hypothesis representation. Because of that reason, here we are learning hypothesis representation and hypothesis learning, hypothesis space also. And I explained hypothesis space concept and concept learning concept with the Enjoy Sport training example. This is a simple one. Here in textbook, we covered sea animal as an object. For sea animal object, we consider different features like height, beak, gill, teeth, etc. Whereas in Enjoy Sport training example. Here, Enjoy Sport training example. We are considering 6 features and 1 concept. Here, these 6 features are treated as an attributes. In technically, we are calling all these are what? Features. For each features, some possible values are there. If you observe the sky as a feature, for sky feature, 2 possible values are there. For air temp feature, means air temperature, 2 possible values are there. For humidity, 2 possible values are there. For wind, only 1 value mentioned. For water, one value, only 1 value mentioned. For forecast also, for forecast 2 values are mentioned. And coming to the outcome, see, I already told to you, concept is a Boolean valued function. What it will give? It will give either positive or negative. Here, positive is representing by using yes and negative is representing by using no. Here, it may be a positive or it may be a negative. This is called a concept. Here, total 2 possible concepts are there. One is a positive and another one is negative. And here, see, these 6 attributes are having different values. And to represent the conjective, see, this one, conjective concepts. Here we may use either question mark or 0. Sometimes we are going to use pi also. Here question mark will allows any kind of values, and 0 means no, means 0 means no value, right? Observe this. Here, if you may construct your hypothesis, See how to construct a hypothesis by using the futures and its values. Means future and value combination is treated as a literal, right? You may construct an hypothesis with the combination of future of the object as well as the value which is belongs to the object, right? That feature and value both are treated as a literal, right? These literals, by using the these futures, we are going to construct an hypothesis. See here, sky type is sunny, and instead of air temp, what we are using? Question mark. Here we are using. Got the point? Here question mark we are using. And for humidity also we are using question mark. Means it allows any kind of value. It allows any kind of value. Sunny, air temperature may be, see, either warm or cold. It allows anyone. And humidity also, instead of humidity, what we are using here? We are using question mark. Means it allows either normal or high. Right? It gives what? More general sense. Instead of specific, we are using most general representation. Most general representation always covers number of positives. If you are using most specific one instead of question mark, like sunny or strong or same, you may not cover most possible example, most positive examples. To cover more positive examples, we may use a generalization concept, right? Here, to generalize the hypothesis, we are using question mark. To specify the hypothesis particularly, we are using zeros. And this is an attribute, and these are the possible values for each attribute. Air temperature, warm and cold, humidity, normal and high, wind, strong and weak, etc. We mentioned. And the outcome is what? The target concept is the function is representing by using C. Here, Enjoy Sport outcomes are 2 only, either yes or no. Here yes is representing by using 1 and no is representing by using 0. Finally, what we are constructing? We are constructing set of concepts for the hypothesis. Here, this hypothesis H contains what? It contains conjective forms like see here conjective concepts were constructing with the help of hypothesis. In each level of the hypothesis space, what we are mentioning? We are mentioning conjective concepts. Now coming to the example, see, all positive and negative examples are available at data set D. This data set belongs to training examples. Initially, our input is what? Training examples. From the training examples, we are going to find positive and we are going to cover more number of positive examples. We are going to cover more number of positive examples, but the data set contains positive and negative examples. By using hypothesis, we are going to identify, we are going to cover more number of positive examples. And how many possibilities are there? See, if you observe this example having 6 attributes. Out of 6 attributes, only one attribute having 3 values, and the rest of the attributes having 2 values only. And now that one is representing how many possible hypotheses. I mean, how many hypotheses are possible from X. Here, X is what? An instance space. Here, 3 into 2 into 2 into. See, these 3 belongs to 3 values, belongs to the first attribute, and the rest of the 5 twos belongs to 5 attributes. What you mentioned here. Here, air temp, humidity, wind, water, forecaster. For each attribute, we mentioned 2. Only sky, we mentioned 3. Why? Because 3 have sky having sunny, cloudy, and rainy. Total 3 attributes. Means how many number of combinations are formed? 3 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. That means 96 number of distinct hypotheses are generated. Right? This is about a hypothesis space. And we may write hypothesis, or we may order the hypothesis from most general to most specific. How we can write most general to most specific? Yes, we can write. How we can write? See how we can construct. Observe this one. Here, 2 hypotheses are created. One is H1 and another one is H2. This hypothesis H1 having a, see, 4 generalized values and 2 specific values. Here the 2 specific values are sunny and strong. Got the point? And coming to the H2 having only 1 specific value and the rest are generalized values, means question marks. Question mark allows any kind of value. Now consider the set of instances. You now means what? Here we are considering set of X instances from the X. Here X is what? An instance space. Right? Here we are classifying positive examples from set of training examples by using H1 and by using H2. Right? See, H2 imposes fewer constraints on the instances. It classifies more instances as positive. Why H2 classifying more instances as positive? It contains more general representation, right? The H2 hypothesis having more general representation. Why? Because only one attribute having specific value, the rest of the attributes are generalized values. The rest of the attributes allows any kind of values. Got the point? And one more point here we need to remember. Any instance classified positively by H1. will also be classified positively by H2. Means what? Observe this one carefully. This is one of the important point here. Whatever the instance is classified as positive by H1. Here H1 is what? One hypothesis. Whatever the instance is identified as positive by using H1 hypothesis, the same instance automatically treating as positive example by H2 also. Why? Because see here, I would like to explain this. See here, consider this. I would like to write a C animal example. See, from C animal, what we are considering, let me take H2 is equal to, this is what H2 is one hypothesis. Here length is equal to, the length of the C animal is equal to, means we're considering length is equal to 3. Consider this, comma, question mark. We're not focusing on teeth, we're not focusing on gill, we're not for means it allows any kind of values. We're not focusing on beak also, gill, beak and teeth. And coming to the H1, H1 is equal to length is equal to 3, comma, question mark, comma, question mark, comma, teeth is equal to, teeth is equal to, teeth is equal to yes. Teeth is equal to yes. This is H1. Observe this. Whenever a C animal object will enter into the picture, it may be any kind of C animal. It may be any C animal. Right? This hypothesis verifies. This hypothesis verifies whether the C animal length is equal to 3 or not. This is what one constraint. This is what one constraint. And coming to the question mark. Question mark means what here? First question mark indicates a gill, and second question mark indicates a beak. Beak means nose, right? And gills means mopalo. And coming to the teeth, teeth is equal to yes. These two attributes are what? It allows any kind of value, whether that beak is equal to yes or no. It allows. Whether the gills is equal to yes or no, it allows. But teeth should be yes. But the sorry, teeth is not S. Teeth is what? I will erase it. Just wait. Teeth is equal to many. From the textbook example, teeth is equal to many. Now consider this. Teeth is equal to many. This is one possible value, right? It strictly identifies the length of this animal is 3 or not, and it allows either it contains gills or not. It allows either the sea animal having gills or not. It allows either sea animal having beak or not. But it allows whether the sea animal having many number of teeth. If it having many number of teeth, then only it allows. Otherwise, it doesn't allows. Got the point? This is what one kind of filtering, one kind of classification, one kind of constraints, combination of constraints verification. See how you can write this H1 in logical manner. Now observe this. H1 is equal to length. I'm representing this one in the conjunctive concept form. length is equal to 3, conjunction, and the next one, that is what, gills is equal to question mark. Here question mark allows what, either yes or no. Conjunction, next one is beak is equal to question mark, means either we are allowing either beak having sea animal or not beak having sea animal. And see, conjunction, teeth is equal to many. Teeth is equal to many. Got the point? Teeth is equal to many. This is what logical representation. This is what conjunctive concept. What we discussed in the earlier slide regarding this, right? Got the point? These conjunctive concepts are going to form hypotheses. Where we are using conjunctive concept, these are conjunctions. These conjunctions are used to combine the literals. See, each one is executing like a condition. And coming to the current concept, that is, see, if H1, if any sea animal satisfies this condition, that is treated as positive example. Here, instance space contains set of sea animals. That instance space is treated as a training set. That training set may contain a set of instances. Those instances may be positive instances or negative instances. Here, by using hypothesis space, we are identifying whether the example belongs to either positive example or negative example. If H1 identifies this object as a positive example, then automatically H2 identifies that this sea animal as a positive example. Why? Because instead of teeth, what we are using here, we are using question mark. Question mark indicates a generalized representation. Here, teeth is equal to many or teeth is equal to few. It allows both. Got the point? That is the generalized representation, and this is a specific representation. Hope you will get clarity on this. Now coming to the current concept, here this is what general to specific ordering of hypothesis. With last explanation, hope you will get clarity how to represent most general hypothesis and how to represent most specific hypothesis, and how to move from most general hypothesis to most specific hypothesis. And to represent hypothesis, we are using LGG algorithm. LGG means least general generalization. With the help of this algorithm, we are going to identify the hypothesis space with least general generalization. Right? With least general. I already mentioned what is generalization. With the help of this algorithm, we will get least general generalization. Now observe this. Here, the algorithm name is LGG set of D. Here D indicates what? D indicates data. This data contains either positive instances or negative instances. Here D is treated as a training set. This training set contains either positive examples or negative examples. And what we are giving as input to this algorithm, we are giving data D, means a set of training examples we are giving as input to this algorithm. From the set of training examples, we will get a hypothesis. We will get hypothesis as an output. Now observe this. Observe this. This is what? This is a D, assume like this. This D contain set of instances, set of training examples, set of training examples, set of training examples. From the set of training examples, we are going to construct an hypothesis space. We are going to construct an hypothesis space. Here, this is what? Hypothesis space. This hypothesis space contains number of hypotheses like H1, H2, and so on, Hn. At the point, each hypothesis contains what? A hypothesis is in conjunctive concept form, right? That is a logical representation. Here, this conjunctive concept contains literals, combination of literals. These literals are formed by using the features of the object and its associated values. Got the point? Now coming to the explanation. Here, we're picking, we're collecting, we're getting the first instance from the data set. See, I already told to you. Here D is what? D is a set of training examples or set of instances. From the D, we're collecting the first one, first instance. Got the point? There are set of instances. We're collecting the first instance from the D. Then, yes, that collected instance, first instance is assigned to whom? X. Right. That one is assigned to X. Now coming to this, right? And this, from this X, we're identifying the hypothesis. From this X, we're identifying the hypothesis. From this X, we're identifying the hypothesis. Or mean similarly, iteratively, we're collecting all the instances from the D. We're collecting. Iterative means here we're using a loop. We're using a loop. Again, we're picking the next instance from the D, and that instance is also assigned to X. From this X, we're identifying the hypothesis. Like this, iteratively, we're collecting instances from the D, and we're identifying hypothesis. Finally, final hypothesis is returned to the calling function. Got the point? To the calling function. Right. Observe this. Observe this. Here X, from the X, we will get an hypothesis space H. And here we are using loop up to the last instance. Is there any instance left in the data set D? We need to execute this process. We need to execute these two steps, step 4 and step 5. Step 4 is what? We're collecting next instance from the D, and that collected instance is assigned to X. Similarly, we are going to calculate LGZ of H comma X. Means this is what? An iterative algorithm. Here we are using LGZ CONG based on the occurring instance. We may call either LGZ conjunctive or LGZ conjunctive ID algorithm. There are two different algorithms. These two different algorithms are using as an sub algorithm for LGZ set D. And finally, what it returns? It returns H. Final H. That is what? Set of hypothesis space. Mean set of hypothesis means it is a hypothesis space. And this is a conjunctive concept, what we constructed manually in the earlier example. That one is executing, that one is formed by using algorithm. The conjunctive concept is formed by using algorithm. There are x and y instances, x and y. We are going to construct a conjunction between these two by forming z. Here z is what? It's a conjunction of all literals common to x and y. This one is written as an a value. That value is assigned to whom? H. At the point like this, conjunctive ID algorithm is also executing. All these algorithms we discussed in the earlier class. Now coming to the internal disjunction. See, till now we discussed about conjunction concept. Now the concept is disjunction. See, in conjunction we are using symbol like this. Yes, observe this symbol. We are using this symbol for conjunction. Now coming to the disjunction. In disjunction, we are using symbol like this, like V. Now observe this. See, what is internal disjunction? If you take a sea animal example, if the sea animal is a dolphin, assume like this. The length of the dolphin is 3 meters or the length of the dolphin is 4 meters. You want to consider both cases. For single hypothesis, you may represent like this 3, 4. Instead of writing two different hypotheses, you may write a single hypothesis with the combination of 3 and 4. If you want to represent this length is equal to 3, 4 in logical manner, you need to write like this. Length is equal to 3, disjunction, length is equal to 4. Here disjunction represents or, conjunction represents and. At the point. Right, like this we can write disjunction. If disjunction is not existed, how we can represent it? If there is no disjunction, you need to write like this. Hypothesis space is equal to length is equal to 3. Sea animal length is equal to 3, comma, gills is equal to S, comma, teeth is equal to many. This is one hypothesis, right? Similarly, here you need to remember, yes, this is what? Conjunction, right? Similarly, you may write the H2 like this. H2 is equal to now observe this. H2 is equal to, now the length is not 3. For H2, H2 indicates hypothesis space, hypothesis 2. The length is 4. Now observe this. What is the difference between H1 and H2? The difference is only length value. The difference is only length value. Here length value is 4. Here length value is 3. Except this, the rest of the conjunctive concept is same or not? Yes. The rest of the conjunctive concept is same. Instead of writing too many hypotheses, we are going to write single hypothesis. H is equal to right? Here length is equal to 3, or we're going to write like this. See, length is equal to 3, or R indicates what? R indicates disjunction. Length is equal to 4, and the remaining is same. Whatever the conjunction concept you represented, that one is same here. You are going to write that one here, right? This part is called internal disjunction. This part is called internal disjunction, right? Where this disjunction is used, this disjunction is used in single attribute or single feature called as length, right? This is called internal disjunction. Hope you will get clarity on internal disjunction. Now coming to the next important concept, that is paths through the hypothesis space. This is second concept in second unit, second chapter. Here, every concept between least general one, remember, least general one and one of the most general ones is also a possible hypothesis, right? Here, we are constructing concept between least general one and one of the most general ones. At the point is also a possible hypothesis. With this, we will cover all the positives and none of the negatives. All the positives and none of the negatives. Here, the main objective is to describe set of all possible hypotheses by its least and most general members. Got the point? Now, observe the yes, the next important concept is version space. Here, version space is very important. It will clearly explains concept is complete and concept is consistent. Now, I would like to talk about what is concept is complete. If the concept covers all possible positive examples, if concept covers all positive examples, that is what concept is complete. Means if you are using a hypothesis, that hypothesis containing concept covers all positive examples from the data set D, from the training data set D, then that concept is complete. Means it covers all possible positive examples from the data set. And if you want to say a concept is consistent, it doesn't cover any negative examples. It doesn't cover any negative examples. Got the point? Remember these 2 points. A concept, if you want to say a concept is complete, it covers all positive examples from the data set. That is a training data set, training set of examples. If you want to say the concept is consistent, it never covers at least a single negative example. And coming to the version space, here version space is a set of all complete and consistent concepts. Means version space is also a set of concepts, but those concepts should be complete and consistent. Those concepts should be complete and consistent. Such kind of concepts are treated as such kind of concepts set or concepts collection is treated as version space, right? Now observe this. This example, this is a simple example. This simple example shows the hypothesis space, right? It will gives more general representation as well as it gives more specific representation. If you observe the bottom layer shows the length is equal to 3,4 and gills is equal to no, and beak is equal to S. Observe this one here. Internal conjunction is existed. Internal disjunction is existed, right? This is what disjunction. Length is equal to 3 or length is equal to 4. And overall, I mean completely, this is what internal conjunction, and symbol represents conjunction or symbol represents disjunction, right? And it will give more specific. And coming to the next level, middle one, length is equal to 3,4 and beak is equal to S. It doesn't focus on the gills. It allows it allows either gill value is equal to no or S. And coming to this concept focus, this is concept. See, each one is one concept, right? Here hypothesis, this is what hypothesis space. This hypothesis space is a collection of or set of concepts, set of possible concepts. How many possible concepts are existed here? There are three number of features, right? For each feature, how many possible values are there? Those many number of possible concepts are constructed. Now coming to the second one, length is equal to 3,4 and gills is equal to no. Here we are not considering beak. It allows either beak is equal to yes or beak is equal to no. And coming to this, gills is equal to no and beak is equal to yes. It doesn't focus on length. At the point. And this is what, when compared to the bottom layer, these concepts are more general. And coming to the top layer, length is equal to 3,4 and gills is equal to no. Here in this concept level, it doesn't focus on gills and beak. This is most generalized one when compared to the remaining. And similarly, it focused only on gills is equal to no. It doesn't focus on the length and beak. Got the point? And coming to the next one. Here, moving upward in the hypothesis space by generalization means that the number of covered positives and negatives can be stay the same or increase but never decrease. Here, this is the use of generalization. Hypothesis space by generalization will always give this. In other words, an upward path through the hypothesis space corresponds to the coverage curve and hence to a ranking. See, I will explain this with this figure. If you observe this, hope you people able to see this. Otherwise, I will explain. Right. See, observe the bottom level. This one is representing by using the letter capital A. This is one hypothesis. This hypothesis is formed by using the literals like length is equal to 3 and this is what conjunction and indicates conjunction, and gills is equal to no and beak is equal to yes and teeth is equal to many. Right. This is most specific conjunctive concept. Right. This is one concept in the hypothesis space. And coming to the next level, that is representing by using B. Here length is equal to 3 or 4 This is what? Internal disjunction. And gills is equal to no, bake is equal to yes, and two teeth is equal to many. When compared to the A, B will give more general sense. And coming to the next one, the next level is representing by using alphabet C. Here, length is equal to 3,4 and gills is equal to no, beak is equal to yes. It doesn't focus on the teeth. It allows teeth either many or few. And remember, whatever the instance satisfies, whatever the instance is treated as positive, example by using C, the same instance also treated as positive by using B and A also. Why? Because B is most generalized one when compared to A, and C is most generalized one when compared to B. And similarly, D, the next level is representing by using alphabet D. Here, length is equal to 3,4 and beak is equal to yes. It doesn't focus on the gills. It allows gills is equal to yes or gills is equal to no. This is most generalized one when compared to CBA. And coming to the next level, that is E. Here, only one literal is used, that is beak. Beak is equal to yes. Here, it focused only on beak. It doesn't considers the rest of the literals like length and length, teeth, and gills. And there is one more level, that is F, right? Here it doesn't consider any literal. Means this one is F is most generalized one when compared to the rest like E, D, C, B, A. Now observe this. Here the positive range is representing by using P1, P2 and P3. Now observe this. Here negative range is representing by using N1. See, this one is representing negative and these are representing as positive. Now coming to this, here A covers P1 number of positive examples and B covers P2 number of positive examples, and C and D cover P3 number of positive examples. And if you are using E and F, it also covers P3 number of positive examples, but it may cover some negative examples like N1. Right. This is what hypothesis space by generalization. Now coming to the next one, most general consistent hypothesis. How to construct most general consistent hypothesis? For finding most general consistent hypothesis is considerably more involved than finding least general complete ones. See what we need to find? We need to find least general complete ones. Right. Now, how to find least general complete ones? To find least general complete ones, we are going to use one algorithm, right? That is a MG consistent algorithm. MG consistent algorithm, right? To find the least general complete ones, we are going to use most general consistent specialization of a concept algorithm is used, right? That is MG consistent C comma N. Here C and N are parameters for MG consistent algorithm. Here MG consistent algorithm will take input as C and N. Here C indicates set of concepts. We are giving set of concepts are input to the input to the MG consistent algorithm. Why? Because from the set of concepts, we are going to identify least general complete concept. Got the point? Now go to the least general means what? Minimum, right? Here inputs are concepts C and set of negative examples N. And what about final outcome? Final outcome is also a concept, but these concepts are minimal. These concepts are minimal or least generalized concepts. These concepts are least generalized concepts. And see, here initially we are verifying the condition whether C doesn't cover any element from N. Means there are some concepts. These concepts doesn't cover the negative examples which are in the N. Then written C means what? It doesn't covers any negative example from the N. Otherwise, we need to assign pi value to the S. Here initially we don't have any concepts. The set of concept set is initially empty. That one is representing by using the symbol pi. And here every time we are searching for what? We are searching for this one, minimal. We are finding least general complete concept, right? For each minimal specialization, C dash of C, here we are finding set of, we are finding concepts from the concept set. Do what we are doing here? We are identifying set of concepts S by using the earlier S value is what? Pi union mg consistent of C dash comma N. This is what? An recursive call. Initially we are calling mg consistent of C comma N. Later we are finding C dash, that is collected by using C only, right? Now mg consistent is called with the parameters C dash and N. This is what recursive call. Like this algorithm is executing. Finally, what it returns? It returns a set of concepts. These concepts are what? Most general consistent concepts or most general consistent hypothesis, right? This is mg consistent algorithm or most general consistent hypothesis construction process. Whenever you will get question like this, write and explain about most general consistent hypothesis concept, you need to write this algorithm, mg consistent algorithm. And there is one more concept called closed concept. Here closed concept indicates all implicitly understood conditions is called closed concepts. I would like to explain closed concept with an example. Now observe this. I already explained this this figure in figure 4.5. Now observe this figure. A, B, C, D, E, F alphabets are there. By using each alphabet, we are going to represent one concept or hypothesis. Now observe this hypothesis. Observe the hypothesis D and E. Here D, Gills is equal to no and B is equal to yes. And Gills is equal to no. Consider this. These two are most similar. These two are most similar ones, right? Now observe this. Here, these are closed concepts, but these are not equal. These are not equal, right? Here, D and E both cover all positives. See, here D and E both cover all positives from right, all positives from N5, but these D and E are not same. Such kind of representation is treated as closed concepts, right? D and E both cover all positives and N5. It covers all positives
and N5 indicates negatives, right? And see here A, B, C are each concept. A is one concept, it covers P3 number of positives. B covers P5 number of concept positive examples, and C covers P1 minus 2 number of examples, and D covers P4 number of examples with N5 number of negative examples, right? In both cases, we will get the same. Now, D and E are treated as closed concept. And these are the examples till now we discussed, right, regarding hypothesis space and conjective concept, right? And this is example for internal disjunction. For a better understanding purpose, I mentioned all these examples. These are textbook examples. These are not prepared by me. And this is a negative example. This is a negative example, and this is an example for conjunctive concepts. I will explain the next concept, that is beyond the conjunctive concepts, in my next video. Right, till now what we discussed about hypothesis space and a path through the hypothesis space, right? The next and the last concept from second unit is beyond conjunctive concepts. I will share assessment link to you. All of you must do the assessment test. Thank you for watching this video.